Hey, what's the matter there, little guy?
I think he's crying.
What?
I got this under control. Hey, Tremendo, can I tell you something?
Huh?
Be a man, you little wuss, and stop that blubbering.
Nice work. Weepies, movies that manipulate you to the point of tears. This is a subgenre of a larger genre generally known as chick flicks.
I'm offended by that term.
Well, cowboy up and be a man about it.
Excuse me?
Nothing, dear.
Whip.
These films are geared towards a female audience and tend to tread in the territories of sentimentality and nostalgia in hopes of gaining an emotional response.
What do you mean emotional response?
It means they want you to cry, you wimp.
For the most part, these are almost always stories of love found and love lost.
They were almost always a form of melodrama.
And someone usually dies.
Like that bozo in Titanic. Why the hell didn't he just jump on the door with her?
Or Ally McGraw in Love Story.
Love means never having to say you're sorry.
Wanna bet?
For the most part, guys aren't big fans of these films. In fact, there seems to be some sort of magnetic force that pushes guys away from them.
Unless, of course, you're trying to make some form of amends.
You forgot our anniversary, didn't you?
No. I thought that we could cuddle on the couch and watch Steel Magnolias.
I love that movie.
I know.
Nice save.
But the important thing to remember about these movies is that they are made to manipulate you. My Life, Love Story, Terms of Endearment all use terminal illness as a way to force a response from the viewer.
Like puking?
Like crying.
Wuss.
Most weepies use over-the-top emotions and punctuate them with over-the-top music to smash any kind of subtlety and elicit these responses.
But not all weepies are just weepies.
Very true. There is the king of the Weepies and a director that all geeks know and love, Douglas Sirk.
Sirk, a German emigre who made several films in the 50s before hitting his stride that used one very specific star, Rock Hudson, as a romantic lead in several successful films.
Rock Hudson. Wasn't he?
Yeah, well, so is Tom Cruise, but we believe he's a romantic lead.
Sirk and Hudson made several films together that fall into the Weepy mold. Movies like Magnificent Obsession, All That Heaven Allows, and Written on the Wind. At first glance, they seem built solely to elicit that dusty response.
But Sirk, being a filmmaker who understood genre conventions, took what looked on the surface to be the standard weepy and one-upped it.
No one saw it at the time, but Sirk used his films to deliver covert messages about societal issues. Racism, class alienation, and gender were all elements of his films.
It wasn't until the 70s where a re-examination would help people understand that Sirk was delivering messages through some very obvious subtext.
I believe Martin Scorsese classified him as a smuggler when it came to the way Sirk delivered his messages.
A snuggler?
A smuggler, you pansy.
Through the use of camera work, set and costume design, as well as the lighting of his films, Sirk would deliver important messages about America at that time, underneath what would have been considered very banal territory.
Weepies with a message. That's something any geek could get behind.
One theme that was carried through all of Sirk's work, weepy or non-weepy alike, was the reclaiming of the self. A character would be thinly disguised as a normal person in society, but as the film progresses, they're forced to deal with who they truly are and how to be that person in a society that would reject them.
Interesting that he worked so often with Rock Hudson then.
Quick recap.
Weepies, also known as chick flicks,
Hey,
women's pictures, are usually melodramas that are a subset of the romance genre. Some of the key features of these films are unrequited love, death of a loved one, and finding love again after losing love.
Oh, love.
Weepies are made to manipulate emotions and create very base responses in the sad department. Some of the key factors in these movies are an overuse of music, overdramatic, expressionistic forms of acting, and a storyline that has a level of predictability that cues the audience on when to cry.
Love means never having to see that crap again.
Filmmaker Douglas Sirk would use these conventions to perfection while delivering deeper messages. He'd inspire such filmmakers as Rainier Werner Fassbinder, John Waters, and Todd Haynes, who would use Sirk's subtext and make it the actual text of their films.
So, do guys cry at Douglas Sirk movies?
No!
Please, we're guys. We don't cry at movies.
Then what was Tremendo crying at?
Go ahead, T. Tell him what you're getting all girly over.
I just finished watching The Bicycle Thief.
Oh wow, that's a powerful
At the end, when they're walking away,
Don't make it worse. Hey, Tremendo. Huh? If you get through this, we'll buy you a Frosty.
A chocolate?
of course, chocolate.
Okay.
Get on with it already.
He'd inspire such filmmakers as Rainier Werner Fassbinder, Tom Wolfe. Why do I keep wanting to say Tom Wolfe?
Why?
Okay.